Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Buckeye State of the Union address by video this time. I'm joined by Stephen Leonard of Buckeye Backers doing a nice collab here. We're going to have one on his platform, one on our platform here. I want to talk to you. We just got done Ryan Day's press conference, and there was an article I put out yesterday talking about how the second half performance against Penn State, Stephen, was a good indicator for the Michigan game in a couple of weeks. And now if I set this up for you a little bit. So last year, Ohio State was a 3-touchdown favorite. A really Michigan team was coming in. They have nothing to lose. And there was one way they could win that game. That was if they ran the football. And there was this almost illusioned version of toughness that was defined by running the football to say, like, oh, we have to be the tougher team. We have to run the football. And Ohio State force-fed that. Well, a similar situation, not exact, presented itself with Penn State. 3-touchdown favorite here. Penn State has one way that they can win the game. Will Ohio State get drug into the mud? We heard about this conversation that happened with the players only and Coach Day in December of last year, and changes were made. Well, now this is another similar situation where those changes are put to the test. Were they actually made? They were. Ohio State came into the game against Penn State with an aggressive game plan. They stretched the field. Okay, so check. But then adversity still struck. It's still a 3-point game at halftime. So how was Ohio State going to respond 17-14? You know the Buckeyes are dominating, but the scoreboard's not indicating it. Then all of a sudden they come out. Boom. There's a ball to Carnell Tate right over the top.
Yeah.
Bomb play. Ohio State scores a touchdown, and then they go up. And they finish the second half pitching a shutout. Your thoughts?
I think the first thing you got to talk about is the ironic nature of it, that it was a running play that kind of put them in that situation, and that's where the ground and pound identity that they wanted to have last year, I think they realized their identity. So you come in, you're put against the wall, you're ready to respond, and Ohio State responded with airmail. And I think they know that they have the best wide receivers in football. They have the best quarterback in football. And their game plan, when they really need it, your bread and butter is to light it up through the air. They did that. Obviously, what you said with the Carnell Tate touchdown, wow. And then you come back and throw a dime piece right down to Jeremiah Smith, like 60 yards, kind of off target, didn't even get able to step through the ball on the pass, and it lands right in his hands. Those are the things we wanted to see. Those are the things that Ryan Day talked about, the footwork and how he was able to throw the ball, and the strength of Julian Sain's arm, and the leader for Heisman. Julian Sain. Passes like that are what get you there, right? And getting them to the best players in the sport is what gets you there. So I think that they've overcome that kind of identity from last year against Michigan. You saw it. They were put against the wall, right? The defense responded too. So that's the other thing. This defense is even better than last year, which is insane to say. I can't even believe you're like even mentioning that. At the start of the year, they lose, 12 guys. How many guys did they lose? 9 guys.
8 off the defense.
8 off the defense, yeah. And they had to replace their defensive coordinator. So, wow.
And Matt Patricia comes in. What a great hire from Ryan Day. We look at talent acquisition almost off the transfer portal, but how about talent acquisition on the coaching staff? And bringing in a guy like Matt Patricia, where that NFL scheme, we're looking at essentially the Patriots defense here in Columbus, how multiple that they are in front. So you got man coverage on one side, zone on the other side. And you have chess pieces like Caleb Downs and Arvell Reese, not to mention Sonny Styles. Then on the outside, you got Davis Igmanosin and Jermaine Matthews, and a great defensive line too. Caden McDonald, Caden Curry. You have all these guys are just playing such good football. And you said it on your episode there, where are we taking the defense for granted? I mean, they're giving up less than a touchdown a game. I mean, just to think about that. We're sitting in November, and Ohio State has given up 6 touchdowns. Ohio State has more wins this year, 8, than touchdowns that they've given up, 6. Just think about that stat being into November. 55 points in 8 games.
Wow. It's weird to say because of like what we've talked about before, because of the defense, everyone went to the NFL. And now they're here just getting better. Matt Patricia's a step up from the number 1 defense in the nation last year. And then, Jim Knowles comes in. We didn't even talk about that earlier. Jim Knowles comes in. The storylines between this game and were incredible.
They were.
Everything. You have a Columbus quarterback coming in that, on his second start, and Ethan Grunkmeyer. Wow, they took care of him pretty well too. 7 sacks on the day, or 7 tackles for a loss on the day. Wow, it's just impressive all around. Everything that Ryan Day is doing with this team, the culture that he's built, and I believe, going back to your point, for the Michigan game, they have their identity. They know what they want to do. I don't think we're going to see ground and pound, 17 seasons in a row. The rushing offense won the game. Really, if you're leading in rushing offense, you win the game. So I don't think that is going to be stuck in Ryan Day's head or offensive coordinator Brian Hartline either. Brian Hartline likes to air the ball out, obviously, and we're going to see more and more of that as that game comes towards the forefront.
Right, they've been opening it up more.
Opening it up more every single game. Starting with Wisconsin, pretty much this year.
Right, and I think too, like you're talking about their identity. Ohio State's going to go into that game at the end of November playing Ohio State football, and that's the big takeaway because last year they played Michigan football. This year, they're going to play Ohio State football. Win or lose, it's Ohio State football.
Correct.
And that's going to be the biggest thing. That, to me, was my takeaway watching that second half against Penn State. Because Penn State's a good team. They're a talented team. It's still a top 25 roster talent-wise across the board. I know they don't have James Franklin. I know they don't have Drew Aller. But there's a lot of talent. There's great NFL talent there.
Oh, yeah. That's especially on the defensive side and the defensive line. Brian Day talked about it today.
Exactly.
The offensive line doing what they did against a good defensive line, it means something. And you have to step it up. You have to make plays every single play against a team like that.
Right. And they did. So Ohio State's going to play Ohio State football against Michigan. And then last thing, Stephen, real quick, the college football playoff rankings, they're going to come out tonight. Where do you expect to see Ohio State ranked? We know Indiana and Texas A&M. There's folks everywhere making arguments for them that they could be number one. Indiana's dominated everybody. Texas A&M plays in the vaunted SEC or the mid-SEC, depending on who you ask. We're not ready for the conversation yet down south.
Yeah.
But Ohio State, where are they going to be tonight?
I mean, I think they're going to be one. Would I like to see them 2 or 3? Absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, that's just
at your own
bulletin board material. If you want to make Matt Patricia mad and Ryan Day mad and this offense and this defense more motivated than they already are, go ahead and put them at 3. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, and just like Ryan Day talked about, the rankings don't matter right now. They do matter at the end of the season, obviously, to get into the playoff and where you're going to be seated and play and who. But go ahead and not rank them 1. Give this team a little bit more motivation.
Yeah.
And then see what happens. I mean, at your own risk. And
yeah, you might get a lot more BTA.
Right, it's true. And no team is invincible, but for Ohio State, it's going to take a lot to beat a team like that. So I think the Buckeyes are going to be one tonight, too. We're certainly going to find out here on ESPN. But again, Stephen, thank you for joining me. It's great having you.
My pleasure.
Guys,
Thanks
that was
for
the
having
Buckeye
me.
State of the Union address. God bless you guys.
God bless.